Yesterday, the baby goat himself, Hydro, asked me when he should actually make the move to start working with a prep center. So I decided I was going to make a video about this because there's really two extremes. You see like the newbies actually wanted to make the move to a prep center before it actually makes sense, before they were really able to understand how to sort and stuff like that. Because, you know, if you have the choice when you start, you should start by prepping yourself if you are in the US and stuff. But on the other end, you have the hardcore guys on Twitter saying that, hey, you should really be in the trenches for super long, stuff like that, like a lot of bullshit. And I think it's equally as dumb as the newbies making the mistakes, right? So in today's video, I'm going to help you, give you the keys to understand when you can actually outsource to a prep center, when you should actually make the decision to start outsourcing, because I believe that personally I did it too late in my journey. I should have done it before. So yeah, but before I actually start, you know, answering this question, link in the description. We have a Discord server for this channel. So as you guys know, Hydro actually inspired this video. So yeah, I'm always over there answering questions, and sometimes I make videos about it when I think the answer is a little bit more nuanced, like this one. So join the Discord server. Best place to meet other people saying on Amazon, best place to learn, best place to ask questions and stuff. All right, so as I said, the answer is not that easy. There's a lot of things that you need to look at. First of all, if you have a full-time job and stuff, try to make the move to a prep center as soon as possible. And actually, if you have a full-time job, you have a good salary, you can afford to make mistakes. So just invest a little bit of money, start straight away, maybe with a prep center. So that way you can just focus on your job, focus all the free time you have on sourcing, stuff like that. So because prepping is not a high-skilled job, like, to be honest. The only thing that can go wrong is that you're gonna pay prep fees, and you can like pay prep fees for a product. Like, you have a smaller margin for error when you work with a prep center. And why am I saying this? When you ship stuff to your house and stuff, you can always return stuff. And of course, I'm not saying that you should do this, but like, if you realize that something is wrong with your product, you can return the product for free. It's easier to deal with when you have like damaged products, stuff like that. When you do it through a prep center, it starts to be a little bit more difficult. It's a little bit more logistics. But on the plus side, what you save is the time you would spend prepping. So it's not that big of a deal. But as I said, if you have a full-time job, you have a salary, you just want to build this business on the side, yeah, definitely. Get a prep center straight away. Just invest the money. At the end of the day, it's not going to cost you a lot, to be honest. As I said in previous videos, I think I made 2 videos on prep centers last week. But really, you should really start to get a prep center if you have the means to do it, so that way you can focus all your time on sourcing. Sourcing is the difference between great sellers and bad sellers. This is what's going to make or break your business. Prep is not, to be honest. Prep is not going to make or break your business, because sourcing is really the skills that is really required to scale a business. You need to find great products. You need to be able to analyze product, look at keeper charts, do all that stuff. And like, the most time, because as I said, if you have a full-time job, and I'm going to talk to all of you guys that do not have a full-time job, of course, I'm not forgetting about you. But like, if you have a full-time job, your time is limited, like, on the side. I mean, if you do this Amazon stuff on the side and you want to eventually scale this business, your time is limited. And so if you have limited time, of course, like, by all means, like, you should focus all that time on sourcing, on what matters, and what matters is sourcing. Now, if you do not have a full-time job, you're really trying to bring this stuff, like, build this business so it can be your main, like, your full-time job if you are a student, or, you know, if you just got out of college or stuff like that. If you have a lot of free time. Now, if you're a student, you may not necessarily have a lot of free time because you have stuff to do for school. But what I'm saying is that if you have the time, yes, start without a prep center, because you're going to save on, you know, first of all, there's a bigger margin of error that you can afford. Like, you can make mistakes and it's not going to cost you as much as if it was with a prep center. Because let's say that you get crazy, you send 500 units to a prep center, you need to return them all. Not that you should do this, but like, when you work through a prep center, it's easier to make mistakes. This is what I feel like. And it's going to cost you a lot. So you should really, if you do not have a full-time job, you should really start tracking the time you spend sourcing. And for me, when I made the move, and I said that I made it too late, actually, when I made the move, I was spending like 2 full days prepping a week, like 2 full days. And it really takes a lot of time. And it's not something that's going to give you an edge on your business. You're just going to spend energy like in a way that is not necessarily like needed. So whenever you reach, like I'd say whenever you reach 15,000, 10, 15,000, 10,000 is still a little bit low, but like whenever you get to 15,000, start your transition to a prep center, because the transition is not going to be smoothless. Things are going to change, all right? And so you need to be aware of that. And the sooner you make the change, the easier it's going to be for you. Like, and make the change, like really make the change. Do not do a little bit at the prep center, a little bit at your house, because things are going to be different. Try to go strict with the prep center when you're around 15,000 a month, because this is when prepping is going to start taking a little time. It's not too bad at $15,000 a month. It's not too bad, but it's going to start taking a little time. And like, to be honest, it's way better for you to keep learning about sourcing, keep learning about other stuff that will impact your business way more than this. Like, it does not make any sense to spend whole days prepping, especially like if you want to ship stuff to your house, ship stuff that you can do FBM with, so that way, you know, it actually makes sense. But like, to prep your stuff yourself, it does not necessarily make sense. Try to set the foundation, have a bigger like pictures. And I said this in yesterday's video or the day before's video. Try to plan for the next 10 years, 20 years, and not necessarily for, you know, the next month and the profit that you can expect next month, right? Because like, I know a lot of guys, and you really see this in the US, like, you guys only focus on what your profit is going to be next month, what your profit is going to be for the next 2 months. Really try to focus on the bigger picture, on the next 5 years, the next 10 years, and you are going to need to do this stuff and like to set the foundation at one point to be able to grow faster, because like, you're going to be limited by the time that you spend prepping, and it's going to be really hard for you to scale above what you're currently making if you keep doing this. It's going to be really difficult. With a prep center, like let's say your prep center like start to take too long because you send too much stuff, you can just get a second prep center. It's going to be super easy to actually scale your business, all right? So make the change to a prep center like when you get around 50,000, 15,000, as I said, if you're a new seller. And I need to stop the video because you see you heard the chicken making all that noise. But yeah, if you are a new seller, you have time. Prep yourself until 15,000, and when you get beyond that, only ship the stuff to your house that you want to FPM. If you have a full-time job, it's fine. Go straight with a prep center. Do not listen to what the guys are saying on Twitter and stuff. Just focus on your job and focus a little bit on sourcing. Send everything to a prep center. You're going to start making money, and if you want to leave your job when you reach 6 figures a month or stuff like that, please do. Like, do not listen to this guy. Listen, like, do what makes sense for you. If it makes sense for you to work your job, to focus on your job, so that way you're not too tired because you spend your whole nights prepping, get a prep center. That's it. That's all I have to say about this subject. I hope this video was helpful. I hope it answered your questions. If it didn't answer all your questions, leave your questions in the comments. As always, I'm always reading the comments. I'm replying to every single comments still on this channel. Link in the description for the Discord. Like this video, subscribe, watch these other videos on the screen if you want to keep learning about selling on Amazon. And I'll see you tomorrow if you want to see another video on Amazon, all right? Subscribe, do all that stuff. I'll see you tomorrow.